upbeat tempo with which the Belizean national anthem was sung at the gravesite of the late father of the nation, George Price, was indicative of the man who once led this country and who now rests there. It was 2 years ago today that Mr. Price passed on from this life onto the hereafter, leaving behind his footprints indelibly etched in the annals of Belizean history. But even in death, his memory lives on.
Mr. Price knew that his day was coming and he did not dread it. He was saddened by the fact that he knew his work was not done and would not be done until all Belizeans had a fair share in the nation's wealth. But he trusted that the leaders of this mighty People's United Party would continue the work of the peaceful, constructive Belizean revolution with honor, with courage, and in unity.
Born to Irene and William Price on January 15, 1919, the late George Price was one of 11 children that shared the family home at number 3 Pickstock Street in Belize City. He attended Holy Redeemer Primary School and St. John's College. At the age of 12, he almost lost his life when a hurricane ripped through Belize City on September 10, 1931. The storm toppled the boarding school building where he was staying, killing 22 students and teachers and an estimated 2,500 persons altogether. His biography, detailed in a 23-minute-long documentary produced by the George Price Center for Peace and Development, underscores that George Price left Belize to go study at 2 seminaries to become a priest. But fate would prevent him from completing his studies and his true calling would emerge. After World War II began, it brought on a scarcity of food supplies and proper compensation for a day's work. When the British devalued the then British Honduras dollar on December 31, 1949, it caused additional hardships for Belizeans. George Price was part of a group of young men who initiated what would become his famous line, the peaceful, constructive Belizean Revolution. Historian Hector Silva speaks of the first stages of that transformation.
They began to inform the people more. They had public meetings and rallies and demonstrations and parades. It started in Belize City, but it spread throughout the country, that this was the salvation of the people. The people received it even though they did not understand well what this movement was, but because of their suffering, they saw a ray of hope, better life for the workers, better life for the farmers, better life for everybody, all Belizeans.
The People's Committee became the People's United Party on September 29, 1950, and 6 years later, in 1956, Mr. Price was elected the leader. It would be a leadership that would transcend 30 years and led him to become the first Premier and Prime Minister of Belize. The latter would also be a position that he held for 2 terms.
He led by action and example, setting the path, steering the course through his own action, through his own example.
The struggle to gain political independence from Great Britain proved to be a career-long discussion, but one that Mr. Price never gave up on. It finally came on September 21, 1981.
Dedicate this new flag of independence to the people and government of Belize. Belize, with the help of God and the support of its people, will stand upright and will do its duty to bring peace, stability, and prosperity to our region.
He was proud and candid about Belize's attainment of independence, but realistic about the future with reporters.
Much has been done, but much more has yet to be done. And we feel with the state of independence, we can do the much more that is yet to be done.
But even as world leaders of his era aligned themselves with first world condominiums, limousines, and chartered flights worldwide, Belize's first Prime Minister lived a very humble life.
I've been amazed at his modesty. People who fly very high have a great problem going back to earth. But my recollection, and even the present situation where Mr. Price is in, now as the father of the nation, makes him the Kipling man. He walks among kings, but he keeps the common touch.
When we would travel in the remote areas and we know that midday would catch us away from restaurant. We will normally go with a packed bread, a can of corned beef, sometimes a little pack of brown sugar, bottle of water, and some lime. At midday or at 5 to 12 we would stop. We'll get on that Land Rover bonnet, prepare the lime juice, open the canned beef. Sometimes we'll leave it a little while on the vehicle bonnet for the sun to warm it. Then we make sandwich. He is satisfied with the minimal comfort. He doesn't have a fan in his house, no air condition, no television. He doesn't have luxurious furniture. He has his rocking chair. He has a round table. And if I could recall, he told me that was where the revolution started. That was where the first meeting of the People's Committee was founded in 1949. And I would say like 10 years ago, I had to twist his hand to get a little fridge for him to at least have a couple bottles of cool water.
But despite his humility in life, in death, George Price was exalted even by his political opponents.
That this is exactly the way it should be. Thousands of grateful Belizeans saying goodbye to the avatar of the nation. It is destiny fulfilled. What Mr. Price strove for all his life is now achieved in his death. We are, at long last, a country totally united.
While Belizeans were united on the occasion of his death, George Price still had an undying wish.
I would like to see they're giving more, all of us, not myself, give more weight to the spirit than to the material things.
His death, occurring just 2 days before Belize's independence, leaves, along with his many accomplishments, his enduring voice, as many still remember it on September 21st, 1981.
The independence of Belize means freedom for all Belizeans. It will benefit every one of us. It calls on us to unite and to move forward in patriotic commitment to a better Belize.
Reporting for Love News, I'm Marion Ali.